Hello everyone and welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez and this is my weekly Moonday Oracle reading. This is going to be a reading for the collective and it will be for the week of the 21st of April 2025. But it does not matter when you find yourself here watching, if it's live, if it's on the replay, even if it's months from now, you are here in exact divine timing, which means that this message resonates with you when you come upon it. So sometimes there are delays with the messages being received to people. And it's always for a really good reason. It's because it may not have resonated if you caught the live or if you watched it that week. It may be that whenever you watch it, it's that exactly when it's going to make sense to you, uniquely, according to your own circumstances in life. So welcome and thank you all for being here. I do just want to let some people see that I am live. I'm actually going to share this really quickly, and I want to make sure that quality of sound and everything is okay before I do really get into this. So bear with me one moment here. I hope you have all had a wonderful weekend and a wonderful holiday if you celebrate, and those who do not celebrate, I still hope that you had a wonderful weekend. Okay. Okay, got that shared. Perfect. All right, so with that said, when I say that these readings are for the collective for this week, it's more of a generalized reading for all of us, again, and everybody who finds themselves here. They're not individualized personal readings, so I'm not doing individual card pulls here today, though I do offer private readings if you are interested, or I should say personal readings privately. If you are interested, you can always contact me, send me a message, and we can go over the different ways that I offer the reading, as they can happen just like this across space and time through Zoom, recording, etc. So we talk more about that, as well as the different sorts of readings that you could also receive. So so this again is for the collective. I call in a message for highest guidance and insight for all of us moving into the energy of the week, to give us that awareness as to what the theme is, or what we all need to know going into this week's energy. Helps us to embrace that with more of a again, that outlook of kind of like what we need to know, what we can do to assist ourselves or to embrace the energy for a more harmonious flow within our own lives, and even helping others in that way. And also it does help us to again, kind of take accountability for our own actions and for our own self by having this awareness. So I do this once again utilizing my own intuitive abilities, as well as I do work with oracle or tarot cards, whatever I feel inclined to do here. Today I actually have something a little special that I want to do. I'm actually going to be working with not only an oracle card deck to pull forth the message for us all, but also I'm going to be doing a little bonus messenger of an animal totem that steps forward to assist us for the week. I'm doing that because I'm very, very drawn to working with animals and their messages and their symbolism. I always have been. But this week it seems like more than usual, I've really been noticing the animal messengers like just kind of putting themselves in my path, doing things that are almost like I can't avoid noticing them. So I'm, having to connect with their wisdom and see what message they're bringing forward. Now, animals in many ancient cultures actually connected with animal spirits they understood that there was this symbiotic relationship between nature and humans and all everything within the world or within the universe, that everything there was that deep interconnectedness, and one does affect the other. You can't have one without the other. So with that said, working with animals, they possess a wisdom, a magic, a medicine even, that can assist us with what we might be going through at that time. They can also act as like signs from our higher selves, signs from loved ones. Obviously, many of you have heard of that, but it's no different than even our own higher self trying to communicate with us. So I think I would like to incorporate working with animal messengers a little bit more this not only just for this week, but I think potentially I might keep it in going forward. So I'll ask you all to kind of give me some feedback there. Let me know what you think about it. And if you feel like it's something that you do enjoy, even after the week is done, how you kind of interacted with this animal's message throughout the week, and see how it's kind of resonated within your life. So when I come back for the next Moon Day, which hopefully will be next Monday, we will see. I like to announce that the day or so in advance. I'm letting everybody know when I'll be live, because it isn't always consistently every Monday, but I do try to do it as frequently as possible. All right, so stay tuned for the next announcement for when the next Moon Day will be. But again, I would love to get some feedback about this. So if you are tuning in with me right now, please shoot me a comment. Let me know how the quality of sound is. I have been getting some messages about a slower connection. So I just want to make sure that all is well before I go into any news and announcements here today. So let me know if you can hear me okay. If you're commenting, yeah, there goes that message again, slow connection. If you have been commenting and I'm not acknowledging it, I actually have not seen any comments yet. Sometimes things get a little wonky and glitchy here. So if you are commenting and I'm just not seeing them, shoot me a thumbs up or a heart, and that will let me know that there's something going on there. Just bringing in some sage for everyone. Clearing out that energy, especially in the liminal space between us all. Hi, Eleanor, I do see your message. Welcome, beautiful soul, and thank you so much for being here today. So happy that you could make it live. How are you? How was your holiday? And anybody else tuning in, I would love to hear how you are. Hi, Jen. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Okay. So since it's confirmed, everybody can hear me good, I'm going to go into some news and announcements as briefly as I possibly can before we get into the reading for the week. So coming up at between Magical Me and Oracles of Light, which is my sister business that I have with my partner, my business partner Karen, my sister in light, and the two of us do have a brick and mortar shop over in Easton, Pennsylvania, or Wilson Borough. And that is located on Washington Boulevard in Easton. Again, that is Oracles of the Light. Go over and check out our page after this is done airing and give us a like. You can stay up to date that way as well with any of the magical offerings that we are always doing and what we're up to. So with that said, we are doing a giveaway for the month of April on Oracles of the Light, and it is a beautiful spring besom or witch's broom. Now, it doesn't have to be a witch's broom, but it is a besom, which is a magical tool, and ancient cultures actually used besoms or brooms as a symbol that represented clearing out the old energy, any stagnant, any negative energy. It does represent a cleansing and a clearing, but it also was a symbol of fertility for many reasons, and we will not go into all of that right now. So it does bring about positive energy as well as cleansing the old, and we have decorated very beautifully for the season of spring. So it is our giveaway. There's a picture on Oracles of the Light of what the broom looks like. It's a pretty big size broom, great for hanging on your wall. But so all you have to do to enter the giveaway, or to be entered in the giveaway, is make any purchase throughout the month of April, whether it be signing up for one of our workshops, one of our classes, purchasing something in the shop, whatever, or purchasing a reading with us, purchasing a healing session with us, whatever it is, for every single purchase you make throughout the entire month. Now, this does include, for those of you who are my line dancing students, this does include you as well. So for every purchase that you make is another entry into the giveaway. We are going live next week on the 30th, that's Wednesday, and at 12 p.m. we will be announcing the winner of that giveaway. So there's still time to get in there. With that said, also coming up on the 30th next week, there's an event that has been created for our next reading roulette. I'll explain really quickly what that is. I just want to say hello to those of you that are popping in now. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Just quickly going over some news and announcements before I get into the Moonday reading. So, reading roulette. Those of you who followed us for years know and are familiar with reading roulette and how fun it is. It is a way for you to purchase a heavily discounted reading with us, and it will happen virtually or pre-recorded, I should say. But the actual event is going to be after we do the giveaway on the 30th, so next Wednesday when we are in the shop. We will go live, and that will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And now I know that's hard for people to be able to tune in live at that time. It's okay. The replay is going to be available. So what that just means is that when we go live, you can sign up in advance for reading roulette, and it's actually encouraged to sign up in advance, especially if you can't be there live, because once the live is done, you can't sign up after that. That's, at that point it's done. However, the replay is there for anybody who can't watch live. You do not need to be live to participate with this, and you will just then get to watch that back and see what reading you receive. So we have something called our Wheel of Fate. Our Wheel of Fate is literally a wheel that we write the different reading possibilities on the wheel. We have 8 different possibilities of themed readings. So when you purchase the reading roulette or sign up for it, it is $25. When you do this, it automatically gets you a spin on that wheel. So you are guaranteed a reading no matter what. It just depends on the fate of that reading as to which reading you will get. And there are going to be a variety of ones, from working with different herbal messengers that come forward, plant messenger, or I should say tree messengers or allies that come forward. I think there's a messenger, there's one from the fairies. I'm working with fairy energy. I think there's a crystal one, and so on and so forth. There's also an option on there that's Ask the Oracle, which means that you get to choose what question you want to ask for your reading. And then there's another option on there that is a wild card. And the wild card gets you the option to pick any reading on the wheel. So just so that you know, there's a variety of these different readings, a really fun way to get a reading with us. And so we will also do a little bonus message for you during the live. It doesn't matter, again, if you're not tuning in live. You get to watch that back on the replay and see. Now, signing up in advance is good because, number one, it just gets you don't have to tune into the live if you can't and watch the entire thing, because we do go through the list of names in order of receipt. So it can be a little bit sometimes, depending upon how many people we've got signed up, that it could take us to get through those all those names and spin the wheel for each person. So we will spin the wheel for you virtually. You'll get to see what the fates choose for you as far as your reading. We'll write that down, pull a little bonus message for you, and then we will at the same time send after that, probably be within that week, we'll do your pre-recorded reading, the actual reading that you've won on the wheel. That will happen between myself and Karen. You'll get that pre-recorded reading, and that will be sent to you privately. Those readings are about 15 minutes long, all right? And again, it'll all be on a video reading so that you can watch it in your own time. Do see that we have some trolling going on here. I encourage you to all not respond to anybody that's soliciting or anything like that. So I tried to ban them, so you may have to block them privately if they are messaging you privately as well. So I do apologize about that. Happens from time to time. I'm actually going to try to block them as well. All right. Hi, Brenna. Welcome, sweetheart. So again, reading roulette. It is our spring-themed roulette. It's happening Wednesday the 30th, next Wednesday. The live will go about 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 Eastern Time, after we do the giveaway winner announcement. And so again, you don't have to be tuned in live, but the sign up in advance is encouraged, obviously. Otherwise, if you do miss the live, then you will miss the sign up, and then there would be you won't be able to participate until the next reading roulette, which we don't know when we'll be able to do that again. But yes, so it's a fun one. Again, great way to get a reading guaranteed, get a little bit of fun insight and information, kind of tempt your hand at fate and see what it is that fate wishes you to hear or receive as far as those fun readings. Now, if you go over and you check the event, the link to sign up is there. Also, there is a list broken down of all of the 8 possible readings on the wheel. All right, if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to comment or send me a message and I will get you more information. Okay. All right, so that is the 30th. This Friday, the 25th, I do have line dancing, beginners line dancing. I think I only have 2 or 3 spots available for Friday's class. So if you're interested, in joining, coming in, this is obviously an in-person event over at Oracles of the Light shop. Yes, we offer dancing. Dancing is a very powerful form of healing that not enough people are aware of, that not enough people, they know they do it, they love it, they feel good, but they're not really realizing that this is actually helping move energy through your body. So I am a line dance instructor and I will be teaching, again, a beginner class Friday, the 25th of April from 7 to 9 p.m. Check out the event, which is on my page, or send me information or send me comments to get more information if you need that, or a private message will get you signed up. And for those of you who want to do the line dancing, want to try your hand at it, but aren't in person with me, you're not close to our area, and also maybe you're a little intimidated or uncomfortable about trying it out in public. So even if you are local, but you're just not ready to do that, or your schedule is really crazy, I have just offered a virtual line dancing group. It is all pre-recorded videos. You'll get 4 lessons for the month, 1 a week in a private group with me. It's all absolute beginner, broken down step by step to some fun and very popular dances, and it's $40 for the month. So again, it is 4 weeks and 4 lessons of line dances, and each week we will go through, and again, these are all pre-recorded, so you watch them in your own time in a private group, and you have the opportunity to work with those lessons all month long. And again, we'll always, after I teach a new lesson, we'll always review the previous lesson. So get lots of opportunity to do so. So if you're interested, again, that event has been created. You can also, if you're interested in just getting information on that specifically, you can go over to my line dancing business page, which is Just Dance with Jamie. Check that out as well. All right. So we also have coming up as an in-person event. We're calling it our Mother's Day celebration, but it's not solely for mothers. It's for all women to come out and have fun. It is specifically meant to celebrate women who are mothers of some sort, but again, it's for everyone. So it's an opportunity for you to bring your mom, bring your daughter, bring your friend, bring your sister who might be a mother, your friend who might be a mother. If you are a fur mama, you're still a mama. If you are a step mama, you're still a mama. Doesn't matter. Any women, please come out, mothers or not. So it's called Tea, Tarot, and Toddies. And so if you don't know what toddies are, well, they are a fun spin on tea. So we will have these beverages offered along with tarot readings, which will be mini readings. You yourself will be pulling your own mini reading, and the oracles, myself and Karen, will be walking around assisting everyone in interpreting those messages. Now, it's also a Victorian spring / Bridgerton type theme. So if you love Bridgerton, if you love that Victorian era, if you love tea parties, then this is for you. So we transformed our shop into what looks like a garden. So we'll have tea and garden party with some tea themed bingo, opportunities to win some prizes, again, that tarot reading. We're also going to have, in proper Bridgerton fashion, a scandalous sort of mystery that will unfold. So we'll be finding out who is the most scandalous in the ton. So if you're interested, those tickets are $50 a person. However, if you are purchasing 2 because you're bringing another lovely woman, as whether it be your mother or daughter, etc., those tickets are discounted to $40 for the second ticket. So buy one $50, get the second at $40. So also there's an opportunity for you to, not an opportunity, but we'll also have available for all the lovely women to build your own bouquet station. So lots and lots and lots offered at this event. There is an event here on Facebook created. Check it out to be able to sign up. And we do encourage you to let us know sooner than later. We do have kind of like, standards as to how many people we can accommodate. Also as to how many people we need in order for an event to succeed, in order for an event to happen, because of the amount of effort and work that goes into these. So if you are interested in attending, or if you plan on attending, we do encourage you to sign up as soon as possible. All right, I think that's it for now. There are some other things happening with like May full moon and whatnot, but I'll announce those potentially next week. So we are definitely having a full moon ceremony on the full moon of May, and that's quite a potent one. So check out the event. It's already created. We'll go over more stuff as it unfolds. With that said, let's get into this reading for the week. Again, this is for April 21st, 2025. I am incorporating a little bit of more of insight with a bonus messenger as we ask for the energy or the presence of an animal guardian to step forward to assist us this week in some shape or form. So if you all love that, please let me know, and it is something that I will continue to incorporate. Okay? All right. We're going to ground our energy, create some sacred space. Get ready to receive this magic message, okay? So all you have to do, safely close your eyes. If you are not in an area or an environment where you can close your eyes safely, then please don't. You can keep your eyes open. But if you can, close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Hold. And release the breath through your mouth. Just allowing your body to soften and relax. So we take another deep breath in. Hold. And release. Just feeling your back soften, your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenching. Letting go of all stress, all thoughts, and all worry as we come into the present moment, creating sacred space around us in the here and now. Take another deep breath in through your nose. And release. Dropping down out of your mind and into your heart space. Being present and open to receiving divine guidance, wisdom, and insight for our highest and greatest good as a collective for the week of April 21st, 2025. All right, so this week I have decided to work with the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. So what do we almost need to know this week? I'm just coming forward for us all this week, April 1st. Ooh. Okay. My face was like, ooh, goblins. Because I know this card well. And it is a number 5. All right. So, number 5, to me, at least numerically, gives the vibration or the energy of changes happening. So change is afoot, right? We know this. It's kind of been in motion there for a couple weeks now. But change often can bring a little bit of a challenge because sometimes it is unexpected change. Sometimes it is undesired change. Sometimes we don't recognize changes that are for us, so we instead resist and we hold on too tightly, which can create a bit of challenge for us. And so those challenges, though, are often meant to guide you. They're meant to be magic for you to tap into, to learn how to navigate and to maneuver around. And it's interesting that I chose the map deck this week because it really does feel like we are changing direction. But with that, with changes, sometimes creates a bit of unease, right? Creates a bit of fear. There comes the goblins. Goblins are not real, right? Well, at least this kind of goblin. So think about being in a dark room at nighttime. Suddenly those shadows look pretty scary, right? The mind tends to make and create monsters where there really aren't any. And so the goblins in this darkened forest are the challenges that are presenting. And not necessarily the challenge that are presenting. They're where our ego mind or our illusions or our shadows are being triggered, that are coming up to the surface, which can elicit a little bit of fear, that whisper that this is really bad, or that we should be afraid, or that we aren't, we aren't going to make it through this, or, whatever it might be. It can even be triggering these changes in order for them to happen, in order for us to be able to move into a new direction, which is what's happening. In order for that to happen, we sometimes have to recognize what kept us from moving forward to begin with. So that might activate some old emotional woundings, some old thought patterns that aren't actually yours or even serving your higher good. And it can create a bit of, again, like I said, those goblins, those seeing monsters where there really aren't any. But when you turn on the light, you really, you become aware that there are not any monsters here. That monster that looked like that was on the wall is actually the shadow of a blanket, and so on and so forth. So when you turn the light on, which means when you really grab a hold of this feeling, this emotion, this thought that is coming up that really doesn't feel great, when you grab onto it and you shine the light on it and say, I'm going to examine this really closely, you take its power away. You can level up. You can embrace the changes by looking at what the root cause of it is, or what it's teaching you, and what you're meant to grow beyond, what you were meant to grow from. So there's always wisdom in the dark. There's always something, some treasures that are actually hidden there. But oftentimes we don't want to go into the dark because of the fact that it seems scary. But really it's where the magic is hidden. The magical keys to your ascension that help you pass go, and you get to level up. So this week, those changes are upon us. Those goblins are going to present at some point in time, which could be triggers, which could be shadows, which could be fears, which could be wounding, could be emotional things, could be old things coming back around that you really thought that you dealt with, you thought that you released it, you thought you were over this, or it could be opportunities that come back around that you are no longer afraid of. That once upon a time, you might have held yourself back. Once upon a time, you might not have wanted to go in that direction. And so you said you bypassed it because of those fears, because of the potentially where you were consciously not yet ready or capable of moving beyond or seeing beyond. So you had to go through it again. That's why we tell you there's always there's never a right or wrong choice in life. Only opportunities to learn and grow. You get another opportunity to do it again. What is for you will never not be for you. It will never be a missed opportunity. It would just be an opportunity to go through something again until you are ready and more hardy or stronger, more aware, take more accountability, whatever it might be, to see something in a different light. So these opportunities are coming back around. And you might now find yourself not afraid at all. You might now find yourself perfectly poised to make this jump, to take the opportunities given, to navigate in a new direction, to go bigger, to go bolder. Whereas maybe before, you might have not been confident enough to do it. But now you're ready. See? So it doesn't necessarily mean that for all of us, we are going to experience some sort of challengers or setbacks or fears, etc. We may, some of us won't. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, this is always poising you in the exact right alignment to get you to where you're meant to be. So everything is always working for you. Okay? So those goblins, really not goblins at all. They are magical helpers in the background, just prepping us. And the moment we shine the light on them, they become shiny and treasures and keys that unlock the next door. Okay? So that is our message for the week. Now I'm going to see what helper, what animal helper specifically, wishes to come forward to assist us all. And for that, I've also decided to work with another of Colette Baron-Reid's decks, her Spirit Animal Oracle. All right. Hi, Tracy. Welcome. I didn't see you pop in. Thanks for being here, lovely. All right, so let us see. What is it that is coming forward? Let's see. Calling in or welcoming in the spirit of the animal messenger that can assist us all as a collective this week of April 21st. Pull you out here. Yes. Yes. I love that I did this week because it goes perfectly with our message. And it's a 60, so a 6. We'll talk about that in a second, but it is the swan spirit. And it says, time for a deep dive. I love it. So we all know the story of the ugly duckling and the swan. The ugly duckling going its entire life thinking that it was ugly, when really it wasn't a duck at all, but a beautiful swan. And not that the duck was ugly, or ducks are ugly, not that you were ever ugly. But maybe you were perceiving yourself in not such a positive light. Maybe you were perceiving a situation in not such a positive light. Maybe you had to experience some not so positive circumstances. That's part of the journey. And diving deep is absolutely what we are being called to do. And I'm actually having a vision right now of how the swans take their heads and they dive their heads down under the water, the same way I believe that ducks do to actually fish, right, to get food. So that nourishes them. It's how they nourish themselves. It's how they sustain and feed themselves. So going down and diving deep, getting into the nitty gritty of a situation, because again, we don't want to give anything power over us. Only we get that. So no situations, no emotions, no circumstances, no thoughts did not get to take control of us. So we dive deep into them to explore them and say, okay, why am I feeling like this? What is going on here? And let me take back control of the situation by letting myself feel this for a moment, letting myself experience this for a moment. And then it's like, again, I always go back to this with Labyrinth. The movie Labyrinth totally raised me. And where Sarah goes through the journey of the labyrinth, which totally represents life, and she meets the Goblin King, Goblin our being in our card, and he's telling her, you know, essentially, like, I can offer you this, I can give you this. And throughout the whole labyrinth, it's like you can go left or you can go right. But what she wasn't realizing is the shortcut was she could go straight on through. It was an illusion that looked like the only way to go forward was left or right. But now she finally sees, goes straight to the heart of the Goblin City. And in the end, the Goblin King tries to offer her a way out. And she says, you don't actually have control over that way out for me. You have no power over me. And the moment she realizes her own power and says that, the spell is broken. And I feel like that's totally applies to all of us and what this message is for this week. So you do that deep dive like the beautiful swan you are, and go back in and take away any power that you have given it out. Claim back all of your power to yourself and straighten your crown. And again, it's okay to feel whatever comes up. It's okay to think about it, but it's not okay to stay there. So we go in, we examine it, and we come back up. We come back up for air to the surface world. Say, situation really wasn't all that I thought it was going to be. So don't hold yourself back from anything. Allow yourself to be free, to be liberated from anything and patterns and cycles that may have kept you in the dark. Again, with the swan spirit coming in, it's also about having grace. Grace is something that is a state of ascension. It's like, it is an ascension key that allows us to have grace for whatever we experienced, for not knowing better at the time, for being in a different situation and learning from that. we give ourselves for grace to be able to go through that. Not only that, but we can give others grace as well for what it is that they might have experienced or how they may have influenced the situation or impacted you. But it is time for you to go on your own way, and that transcendence is what the swan represents, into your divine self, into what is for you, moving on to a path that is now for you versus having to loop around on what is no longer for you. And that does bring me to the 6. 6 is the number of Venus, higher love, and it also helps us to come into that truth, enlightenment, so seeing things from a different perspective, shining light on things this week, but also finding the harmony through any conflict. The opportunity for you to find it is there. Okay, so embrace any challenges as like an obstacle course for you to get through without giving it any of your power. Okay. Also, Venus in Pisces at this time, and Saturn, I believe it's Saturn, Lord of Karma. There's those karmic looping cycles I just talked about. Just came conjunct the North Node. The North Node is also in Pisces. So Venus is just rebirthing herself for a new cycle, starting with Pisces, which is all about, again, that higher love. But at the same time, with the Lord of Karma conjuncting the North Node being in Pisces, North Node is our higher destiny, what we're meant to attain. So it's almost like what was not, we're finally surpassing those karmic cycles, that Saturn being the gatekeeper of that, and what is actually now, because Pisces being the spiritual realm, Saturn is ruled by Aries, which is the physical realm. Saturn ruled by Aries, which is the physical realm. So it is like making it more tangible to what you can attain now, like where our higher destiny, our higher path, even if it's not the final destination sort of thing, where you're able to actually excel and ascend to now on a timeline or in your life experience now, you're able to do this because it's almost like Saturn is opening up this magical gateway, presenting you opportunities to learn from those old karmic stories and level up from them now and make what you're meant to attain more tangible. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, everybody. It's quite powerful, quite beautiful, and our swan messenger here for us all week long to remind us and keep us on path. So look to the synchronicities for your swan's guidance and assistance this week. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. Jen says, thank you. Hearing this helped attach words to what I'm feeling and experiencing. I'm finally learning to love myself, and it is fun. Not loving myself made life rough. I've tried to love everyone, and I was the only one I didn't show love towards. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, sweetheart. That is a very tough share, but it's a very tough place to arrive at, because it takes a lot to be able to recognize that and see it within yourself, So great strength, grace, and courage to be able to arrive at that place. So congratulations to you for that. And absolutely beautiful, inspiring message for all of us that we cannot love until we first love ourselves, and that it is not selfish to do for you before you do for anyone else. All right, everybody, have a blessed and most magical week, and Walk-in Wednesday will happen again this Wednesday at Oracles of Light from 11 to 4 p.m. If you'd like to book a reading and come into the shop, let us know. We absolutely can get that done for you. Take care.